Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. My name is Melanie, and I am the Program Development Manager at Clarion Futures. And today, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the prize, about this exciting new category that we have, which is the William Sutton Prize for Connected Communities. And then after this session, you'll have the opportunity to ask your questions. You can submit them in the Q&A, and I'll be reading them out loud and answering everything to the best of my abilities. If I don't have the knowledge to answer your specific query today, we'll make sure to follow up with you via email. You can write to us at williamsuttonprize@clarionhg.com. And you can also get in touch with me directly, as I have emailed all of you ahead to give you my direct contact details should you have any questions. So let's get started. First, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the William Sutton Prize and who's William Sutton. So the William Sutton Prize is all about innovation in social housing. We try to help turn big ideas into real-life solutions for the sector's toughest challenges. You probably saw from our previous winners and from the 2023 edition of the prize that we have been focusing on sustainability in social housing. In 2023, we were focused on a fair transition to net zero. So we were, of course, looking at proposals that could help us achieve that. The William Sutton Prize in general has the aim of empowering disruptors and innovators to transform exceptional ideas into tangible products, services, solutions, and interventions that can create long-lasting benefits for the built environment and for local communities. So we do not only look at social housing residents, but also at communities and try to create and innovate in a way that benefits them. So we're very proud to work with individuals and organizations whose ideas transform the way that social housing tackles sustainability and improves resident well-being. So what we offer as part of the prize goes above and beyond the grant funding, which we know is very important to make ideas scale and projects develop. We also offered a tailored package of business support, which has been deemed by some of our winners as probably equally important to the grant funding. So when a winner obtains the prize, we're also able to put together a panel, a project support group of Clarion stakeholders that support the winner into making that project a reality. And we do this tailored business support for the first 12 to 14 months of the project. So we do take it very seriously, and that's something that is an exciting part of the offer as well. So that's a little bit of background on the prize. So as you know, and as you can see there, since 2018, which was our first year of doing the prize, we have granted over £235,000 in grant funding. So a very diverse group of projects, and I'm going to introduce you to some of them after this slide. So our 2023 winners, so our last prize winners, we had two. This is a proposal that was submitted by two applicants, so an applicant and a co-applicant. They are Building with Nature and the Green Partnership. They submitted a proposal to develop a framework for a green accreditation that could benefit the maintenance of standards for buildings and developments. So we granted them £50,000 to develop this framework, which could really make a difference in diversifying green spaces in social housing. We have been working with them for the last 14 months. We're actually close to helping them publish their framework, which is quite exciting. And we have established a relationship with them between Clarion and Building with Nature that will go beyond the prize. So that's one of the most exciting trickle-down effects of the prize. So in their own words, they talk about the impact that the prize has made in their lives and the opportunity to collaborate with us, which has been very valuable. So that's Building with Nature and the Green Partnership, two organizations that came together to submit this proposal for a green accreditation and a framework. Then we have the second 2023 winner, which was Bell Phillips Architects, and they had submitted a bid for £20,000 to develop a new vernacular architecture. So they're focusing on ceilings, and they have a new approach in which they want to see buildings under 11 meters being built with timber frames, which could really reduce the amount of carbon embedded in the building, and also utilizing UK grown materials. So we've been working with them for the last year as well, and we have also developed a partnership and a collaboration beyond the price, which is quite exciting. And they have also said that the non-financial support offer has been almost as valuable as the grant funding itself. But as you can see, these two different applicants submitted a sustainability proposal in the theme of the 2023 prize, which was the transition to net zero. You are all here for a new category, which I'm going to introduce now. So I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce the prize as a whole. So why do we have a new category if we have developed this very well-known prize for sustainability, which is a much more technical proposal? In 2025, we are turning 125 years old, or at least our founder is, and his legacy. So to celebrate this anniversary, we wanted to really double down on our impact and increase our pot and create a new offer that can serve our residents more directly and their well-being. So in addition to the existing William Sutton Prize for Sustainability, we are offering a new category, which is the William Sutton Prize for Connected Communities. And this new category is focused on supporting impact-led ideas that can enhance social housing residents' physical, emotional, and social well-being, connecting, facilitating spaces for connection and to develop and create vibrant communities. So to tell you a little bit more about this new category, I wanted to highlight our 4 focus areas. So while the objective can be quite broad, which is, to benefit resident well-being and to create the spaces for connection and community building, I wanted to talk to you about the focus areas that we crafted. Just to let you know, we have consulted with the Helen Hamlin Center for Design, which is a dedicated body within the Royal College of Art towards creating proposals for, more cohesive communities, intergenerational work. So they have been helping us in developing this new concept for the prize. So the first focus area is innovative technology solutions, which seeks technology interventions that can break down barriers and enable communities to connect in intuitive and meaningful ways. What do we mean by that? We are looking for proposals that can increase connectivity, that can reduce loneliness, and that can use tech-enabled channels for information sharing and or accessibility. We keep it broad on purpose. We're trying to receive proposals that are creative, innovative. We don't want to restrict. We're trying to provide direction in a way that also we allow ourselves to be surprised. Some examples that we came up with would be, for example, cutting-edge projects that utilize artificial intelligence as a tool to facilitate inclusive communication, or potentially designs that can upgrade existing community spaces to accommodate accessibility needs. Those are just examples. We are looking forward to being surprised. Our second focus area is social inclusion. And here we are looking for concepts and projects that engage underserved communities towards being heard, building communities through an intersectional lens. So what we're trying to do here is we're looking for projects that recognize the specific intersection of inequalities and that can provide solutions that can serve more than one target group simultaneously. The third focus area is intergenerational interventions, which might be probably one of the most straightforward. And we are looking for new ideas that are desirable across age ranges and have the potential to bridge generational divides and promote intergenerational interactions. So some examples are projects, activities, or service that can promote a greater understanding and respect between generations, or can help tackle isolation and loneliness in older social housing residents. Finally, we have our community spaces focus area, which is seeking proposals that present novel and creative ways to bring communities together within a space to increase social networks. So they can be physical, virtual, or a blend. We're looking for smart ways to provide a platform that meets the needs of a diverse community, but that also encourages relationship building and connection. So, what is on offer? So, beyond the price, which applicants get bid for, we are also offering what I mentioned before, which is the non-financial support, the business package. In terms of bidding, applicants can bid for a minimum of £5,000 and a maximum of £25,000 in grant funding. But they can also access quite a comprehensive support offer, which includes, for example, business support and advice, such as business planning, routes to market, legal advice, commercial and procurement process, consultancy and advice, health and safety advice, communications and marketing support. They can also get access to one-to-one project support with a selected group of client stakeholders across the group. They can also get business sponsors and shadowing opportunities. They can also gain research and testing capabilities, evaluation guidance, access to user groups, sites for testing, validating, and piloting, including opportunities facilitated by the Helen Hamlin Center for Design in terms of methods, expertise, case studies. We can support all of that. We can also facilitate access to networks, such as invitations to events, introductions. We have a very vibrant William Sutton Prize alumni network, where many different winners and highly commended proposals and their leaders can meet and exchange ideas. So it would be fantastic to also have the new 2025 additions into that network. And there are also opportunities to be included in Helen Hamlin Center for Design events and publications. So, eligibility. So the prize is open to all types of ideas and projects if they come from design, technology, community, business practices, commercial models. We're looking for ideas from any sector or discipline as long as they serve the purpose of the prize, which is to promote resident well-being and spaces for the building of vibrant and connected communities. We encourage applications from architects, designers, engineers, scientists, techs, social entrepreneurs, academics, construction contractors, social enterprises, charities. We are open. We can also receive applications from both commercial organizations and non-for-profit organizations, such as, charities, community interest companies, social enterprises, community groups, as long as they are registered. We cannot accept applications from local authorities and governmental bodies. We're focusing on non-governmental organizations and private sector. You do not need to have prior social housing experience as long as your proposal, idea, or solution could have an impact in the social housing sector. Applicants must be registered to operate in England. Individuals can also apply, but they must be over 18 years old and they must be residing in England. We also are unable to make payments to personal bank accounts, so they will need to partner up with an organization that has a business bank account, or they have to be willing to set up their own organization. What am I missing? Ideas and innovation should be in the earlier stages of development, but not at the very initial concept phase. What do we mean by this? You can have an idea without having executed it before, as long as you have a very clear plan. You will see that our application platform, which is called FlexiGrant, and is linked to our website when you click on the Apply Now button. It allows you to see the entire journey of the application, all the different questions, the expectations, and we're looking for someone who has a very well-defined plan, even if it hasn't been executed before. So it can be on the earlier stages of development, just not something that is at least somehow planned and laid out in a neat proposal. I hope that makes sense. Do feel free to ask me further on this. Application journey. So the applications have opened on the 15th of January. So they've been open for a month and a bit. The applications will close on the 8th of April at midday. Scottish organizations can apply, but they must be able to operate in England as well. But yes, Scottish organizations can apply. I wanted to say that shortlisted applicants, so the process goes as follows. Applications close, and then eligibility checks are made. And then applications that have met those eligibility checks are then assessed by different assessment committees, which are composed by Clarion staff. And then shortlisted applicants are contacted on the 30th of May. When someone is shortlisted, they are invited to come to a virtual coffee with Clarion colleagues. This is a coffee to get an opportunity to explain the application and clarify doubts, sort of face-to-face, even if remotely, even if virtually. And then those coffees, those matchmaking interviews, are assessed by the Clarion interviewers, and then the finalists are invited to pitch. So in late June, we will have a decision of who made it to the finalist list. And then those finalists are assisted in preparing their pitches. And then they come into Clarion offices in London to pitch to a panel of judges. So those are the steps. After they have pitched, the judges made a decision, and then the winners are defined on that same day. But they are invited, all the finalists are invited to come into the award ceremony, which is due to happen in September. The date will be informed closer to the time. And winners are announced at that ceremony. That's how it works. But in terms of initial steps, applications close on the 8th, and those applicants that made it to the next phase are informed on the 30th of May. So that's just an insight to make sure that we have a clear understanding of how long this takes. Now, why apply? Of course, beyond the grant funding, you will get an opportunity to collaborate with Clarion in a very, very close way, and you will get unique access to high-profile Clarion colleagues that can facilitate networking and other opportunities for you. So it's definitely a nice space to be in. The grant funding, of course, of up to £25,000, which is a good starting point for a project to be scaled and developed. You will get recognized, so we will make sure that people who made it to the shortlist stage get their projects promoted and amplified across Clarion Housing Group and also in Clarion Housing Media. So it would be fantastic to get an opportunity to be to be highlighted as one inspiring project that potentially another part of the business would like to collaborate with. It is open to all, so we're really strong on this. You don't have to have a social housing background. If you have an idea that can work, please do apply. And it is simple to enter. I made sure to create a process that is straightforward. We have an accessible team that can answer questions and is available to assist. If you have any accessibility needs, do get in touch. We can help you. But we need to make sure that the process is straightforward to reach the best idea. So we do consider it quite a human application process. You will also notice that part of the application process is submitting a 1-minute video. This is very important because we really want to hear your voice from you. Why are you so passionate about this project? How do you see what is the potential for impact? It is super important for us to make sure we get some idea of the passion and the thought process behind the proposal. So in terms of questions, if you have any questions at this point, please submit them in the Q&A. The first question, which I answered before the Q&A section, was about Scottish organizations, which I said yes. Some questions that I have received from some of you before this webinar are, for example, a question about whether a proposal can be submitted for both categories, the sustainability and the connected communities. The short answer is yes, you can submit the same proposal for both, but do take into consideration that they have very different aims and focus areas as well. They're looking for they're looking to tackle very different challenges. So I would just make sure that I read the eligibility documents and category specification documents in detail to really ensure that it serves both and it can make the same impact in both areas. I also was asked whether we can submit more than one proposal for a price category. No, unfortunately, we can only accept one proposal per applicant. I got asked whether 2 organizations can submit the same proposal as co-applicants. Yes, that has been the case for many winners before. You can partner with an organization that can potentially complement your work or skill set or expertise and submit an application together. You need to make sure when you're talking about budgets, you define what percentage or which specific cost lines will be distributed between applicant and co-applicant, but you can definitely do that. If you have any other questions, I will please submit them now. Yes, please bear with me. Is Northern Ireland included? Yes, as long as you're happy to operate in England, even if you're registered in Northern Ireland, you can submit a proposal. Any other questions? Okay, submitted, covered on the, yes. The information, this is the question, is the information to be submitted with a proposal, for example, documentation, size limitations, etc., covered on the website? Yes. On the website, if you go to the Connected Community site in the William Sutton Prize page, we can link it in the chat. You will find a quite detailed eligibility and category specification document. Attached is a PDF, and then you will be able to see exactly which documentation is required. If you also go ahead and make an account on our application management platform, which is called FlexiGrant, when you click on Apply Now on the website, you will get redirected towards the landing page that will ask you to create an account or login. If you create an account, you will get immediate access to the entire application, where you can see in every prompt, you can see what is required in terms of submitting documentation, and you will get examples as well. Another question. Yes, you are definitely able to rewatch this. This session is being recorded and will be uploaded on our website. We will also transcribe some of the questions and answers so that you can have easy access and forward it with to whoever hasn't been able to make it. So am I happy to chat through ideas before we submit formally? We are expecting a lot of applications, so unfortunately I don't have capacity to meet with independent applicants. That said, if you have a query or you need any guidance, you can send us an email to williamsuttonprize@clarionhg.com, and me and my team will make the best of our efforts to support you and guide you in the right direction, but we are unable to give one-to-one support at this stage. Is there one prize or more than one? So you can bid up to £25,000, but we have a pot of 50, which means we're able to give prizes to more than one applicant. It all depends on the quality of applications submitted and the amounts. So we have discretion to award up to 3 applications within the specific pot and the specific category. Is there a limit of how many people can be over? No, there is no limit, as long as it's, you can partner with up to 2 organizations, but even if you have multiple contact points in the application, you can list them all as part of the contact details section of the application. Let's see. Sorry, a lot of questions coming in. Do you have to cost how you're going to spend the grant in an itemized schedule? If so, is it these costs that form the basis of the size of the grant you're applying for? Good question. So yes, there is a section in the application. If you go into FlexiGrant, you can see it, where you need to list an estimated cost per line, an item. I would suggest utilizing this as the calculation method to define the amount that you're bidding for. I would suggest there is no need to adapt cost lines to meet a 50K pot. If you truly need 30 after listing your cost, then do apply for the amount that is suitable for your project, because the more, not detail, but the more rationality we can see behind the cost lines, the more confidence we will get in terms of this project and the way that it has been planned. I do hope this answers your question. If it hasn't been answered, do please send us a line. I'll be happy to develop my answer further. What do you mean by a solution for more than one target group? Would different cultural groups count, or does it have to be very different? People with a disability and children experiencing care. It could be definitely more than one cultural group. We're trying to keep it broad for the reason that we want, as long as there is a rational explanation and intent behind the proposal, we're happy to consider that as part of that specific, like it is an intersectional solution, for example. I do hope this answers your question. Do let me know if it doesn't, but we're keeping it broad for a reason. As long as you're able to think outside the box in terms of how a specific solution can help more than two different demographics, that's good enough to make it within the scope of the price. I do hope that helps. We cannot fund more than 25K, but you can definitely let us know how far it would take you. So you can only bid for a maximum of 25,000 pounds. I would suggest, please do go ahead explaining how far it will get you, but we need to make sure that we can account for what that specific amount could do for the project. I do hope that makes sense. The question was, if we have a detailed plan for more than 25,000 pounds, which would you fund part of it? I would suggest yes. This is a pilot fund, so the idea is that potentially we can empower ideas that could scale beyond the price. We don't envision that the beginning and end of an idea's life would be the price, but we do want to get you to a specific stage that is accounted for in the application. So as long as you can achieve what is within the scope of your proposal with the amount that you're bidding for, that would fall within the scope of the price. Please submit questions on the chat. Should you have any questions on the Q&A? All right. Any other questions, please write them on the Q&A. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see, one new question. What are the submission requirements for the initial stage beyond the 1-minute video? Thank you for this question. If you go to our website and read our eligibility criteria, you will see a very detailed explanation of all the requirements. I would suggest logging into and starting an application to see all the different stages. We have a set of questions that cover scalability potential, intent, consultation with specific target demographic groups that you might be targeting within your application. We really put a lot of thought and detail into putting this together. I would suggest going in and seeing all the requirements in the guidance documentation and in the application. It is a set of questions, and then you will also have, so you have the requirement for a video, a set of questions, and you will also have the opportunity to attach supporting documents at the end. We will link again, I think we have linked the website, the site. It can also be sent to you. And I would also suggest downloading the guidance documentation that complements it, that has all the detail that you need on every specific requirement. If we are doing a project but are in need of funds to sustain it and scale it up, yes, that's not qualified. Yes, it does. If you started a project, but it could really, the innovation is in the scaling or the replication, you can apply for the fund. For the price. So I would suggest, especially if you have achieved a specific stage of the project and there is an opportunity to scale it in a way that is innovative with this specific access to resources and grant funding, do please go ahead and apply, because we are able to support you at that stage. As long as the idea is well thought out, we are able to consider your application. What we mean by trying not to submit applications for ideas that are in a very initial stage is that we need to make sure that you have a plan on how we can measure success. How can we phase out the different stages of the project? That's what we mean by that. We need some certainty on the ideation side of the proposal. I do hope that answers your question. Okay. Any other questions? Let's see. If we have an existing technology that we'd be looking to tweak to support housing communities, does this count as our technology is already existing rather than early stage? Would just be tailoring to support housing residents? Yes. Yes. Feel free to apply. You will need to see exactly where is the innovation within this proposal. You know, in which ways you will be tweaking this technology. As long as there is extensive research done into the need behind this new technology, the potential impact that it could have, an analysis of potential existing solutions within that space, and what really sets this new technology in this tailoring apart from the rest, that would fall within the scope of the price. I do hope that answers the question. Is there a defined time frame in which project needs to be delivered? So the project within the scope of the price, as we said before, can sometimes not coincide with the full potential of the idea. But we ask for submissions to propose a 12 to 14-month plan. And those phases and achievements within that specific time frame are the ones that fall within the scope of the price, because those are the ones that we're funding for. So there is a defined time frame in which that part of the project that is covered by the price. What I mean by this is there is a defined time frame for the specific objectives proposed in the price. So whether the project then continues and grows in different ways beyond the price, that is a nice side effect. But we do need to account for outputs in a specific time frame. The reason why we have a defined time frame of 12 to 14 months is because that is what we offered as project support alongside the funding. So we're able to work with you and we're able to map out what we can do together up to that specific time frame. And then scaling opportunities in the next steps where we just basically let you go with the idea and try to potentially source funding elsewhere, scale it, sell it, replicate it. We try to get you to a specific point, and that point is defined in a time frame. I hope that answers the question.